Good morning, traders, and welcome to NewsWare's Trade Talk for Monday, November 17th. Okay, let's take a look at the action. The S&Ps are trading slightly higher. We were up about 0.2%, a little more than that. Now we're just up 0.02, so we're flat to higher right now. Lots going on this week. I mean, you got NVIDIA's earnings. They're coming out on Wednesday. That's going to be the hot ticket item for the middle of the week. You also have the Fed's meeting minutes coming out on Wednesday. On Thursday, we're going to get the non-farms payroll report. That's scheduled to be released. That's the September report. That's October is unlikely to be produced. What else do we have? The FAA and the Department of Transportation, they're easing flight restrictions as they announce that flight cuts will be 3% rather than 6% positive. Keep an eye on the airline stocks. Berkshire Hathaway takes a position in Google. This was announced Friday. A bunch of 13Fs came out on Friday, and this was one of the bigger ones. Disney, ticker DIS, they got a distribution agreement with YouTube. Again, that's Google, so two positive factors going on there today. Boeing, ticker BA, they secured new plane orders from a couple different airlines. Apple, a court ruled that Apple infringed on a patent and orders restitution. On the earnings front, after the bell today, you got TCOM, XP, and HP. They're all going to be releasing. But then tomorrow morning is a big day. I mean, we got HD, Home Depot, PDD, Medtronics, MDT, Baidu, BIDU, KLAR, and Fubo, FUBO. And then Wednesday morning, you got TJ Maxx, TJX, you got Target, TGT, and Williams-Sonoma, WSM all reporting. So a lot going on there. Okay, let's take a look at Europe and see what kind of action we're seeing in Europe. And realistically, it's mostly negative. The DAX is down 0.7%. Autos and banks are underperforming. And the FTSE was holding flat, but it's since turned negative. It's down 0.25%, a little weakness in miners. In France, the CAC is down 0.49%. Luxury stocks are moving a little lower this morning. Turned our attention over to Asia last night. And Asia, for the most part, was lower. The Nikkei dropped 52 points, which is like 0.10%. Their GDP data came in better than expected, but travel and consumer stocks did underperform. Hong Kong, the Hang Seng, that fell 188 points, or 0.71%, with weakness in consumer, tech, and property shares. But China lost 18 points, or 0.46%, largely with weakness in the tech and industrial. China's market is very sensitive to shifting trade relations, and recently Japan said if China invades Taiwan, it would be a negative for the country, and they may be forced into military action. China responded by saying, we're advising our citizens not to travel to Japan. So it's just that back and forth rhetoric that's kind of a negative for the markets. And then we're turning our attention over to oil for a moment because a lot's going on there. Oil is trading lower. We got oil WTI at $60.02 a barrel. You got Brent at $64.33 a barrel. Okay, now we had that big spike up on Friday where oil prices gained 2%. Because of the Ukrainian drone strike on a Russian port, but that port has resumed operations after a 2-day shutdown. So that's kind of negating the negative action that we saw where oil prices rose 2% on Friday. But there are some Senate Republicans who are said to be discussing and drafting legislation that would sanction any country engaging in trade with Russia. Some lawmakers say that, Iran is included in this list. Well, that doesn't surprise me. But we'll have to see if there's any validity to that headline. Okay, now we're talking earnings action. We're talking First Truck Alliance has ticker YMM. They missed by a penny. You look at the stock this morning, and it's trading lower by about 1%. And also coming out yesterday was, also coming out this morning is JJSF. That's J&J Snack Foods. It looks like a good report. It just came out. I haven't really read it yet. But you look at the stock, it's up 2.27%, so that's got to be a positive, right? JJ Snack Foods. Surprising. I don't know how, these guys do get some takeover interest every so often. Keep an eye on that. Upcoming tomorrow morning, Medtronics, MDT, Michael David Tom, their EPS is $1.31. Expected move is 3.83% when they release. Then you have PDD Holdings. That's ticker PDD, Paul David David. Their EPS is $2.21. Expected move is 6.83% when they release. Let's not forget Home Depot, HD, Henry David. Their EPS is $3.82. Expected move here is 4.51% when they release their earnings tomorrow morning. I'm always cautious on Home Depot. In terms of economic reports, we're going to start getting more data. I mean, this morning at 8:30, we're going to get the Empire State Manufacturing Index. Then at 10 a.m., we're going to get construction spending. Now, this is the August numbers. This is the numbers for August, but they are supposed to come out today. In terms of Fed speak, 9 a.m., we're going to hear from New York Fed Bank President John Williams. Then at 1 p.m., Minneapolis Fed Bank President Neil Kashkari. And at 3:30 p.m., looks like Fed Governor Christopher Waller will be speaking. So plenty of Fed speak today. Okay, taking a quick look at the markets. I got 13 lower, 1 unchanged, and 16 higher on my Dow. My FANG stocks are mixed. Some gains in Apple, some gains in Amazon and Google. Everything else is trading slightly lower. Let's see, what else do we have here? We're looking at some of the news behind the tape, like Apple. The rumor is that Tim Cook is going to be retiring next year. So there's, they're looking for a new CEO. They're out there at least doing a search to say who should take over the top spot at Apple if Tim Cook does indeed decide to retire next year. Berkshire Hathaway, they revealed a $4.3 billion stake in Google, they reduced their stake in Apple. Ooh, is Tim Cook trying to get out while the stock's at a high? Interesting. Meta Platforms, ticker META, they opened up pop-up stores to build hype for their AI glasses. Netflix, NFLX, that stock split kicks in today. You're looking at the stocks trading 111 to 111.12. Tesla's requiring suppliers to exclude components made in China. Ooh, that's not good for Tesla car sales. In terms of Dow Jones 30s, Apple infringed on Massimo's patent MASI, and they were awarded, and Massimo MASI was awarded $634 million in damages. Boeing, ticker BA, trading higher this morning. They got a bunch of new orders announced today. Ethiopian Air ordered 11 737 MAX. Emirates ordered 65 777-9 planes, and Senegal Air apparently purchased 9 737 MAX planes, so that's good for Boeing. In terms of merger news, Sea Air, ticker SEE, Sam Edward, they're going to be acquired by CD&R for $10.3 billion. If you recall, I mentioned this last week. I said they were in play. Sure enough, a week later, they bought out. In terms of shareholders' meetings, we got to talk about Oracle, ORCL. Why? Because they have a shareholders' meeting starting tomorrow. That shareholders' meeting for Oracle starts tomorrow at 10 a.m. There could be something there. Remember, Oracle's highly leveraged. In terms of buyback news, C Limited, that's SEE, the SE, Sam Edward. They announced a 1 billion share repurchasing program this morning. That's all I see hidden in the news for this morning. Okay, let's talk about the stock pick of the day. I'm going with Medtronics, MDT, Michael David, Tom. Listen, earnings are out tomorrow morning before the opening bell. The EPS is $1.31. The expected move is 3.83%. You look at Friday's call volume, 7,496 calls traded to 1,806 puts. That's a big divergence. And then the call open interest, 159K to 71K. I like that too. And the fact that major brokers are raising price targets on it, that's even a better sign. I look at MDT this morning and I'm seeing, there's possible signs of some, weakness that could occur. So, I'm going to say 95.20, give or take 20 cents, as my entry price. for Medtronics. But that's my pick of the day, Medtronics, ticker MDT, Michael, David, Tom. Okay, let's talk about what's hitting on the tape this morning. Johnson & Johnson, JAJ, they're going to be requiring Helda Therapeutics for $3.05 billion. Let's talk Novo Nordisk, NDX. They're cutting the cash prices for Wegovy and Ozempic to $199 a month. They want to undercut Lilly's weight loss drug. They really want to kind of get it out there and get the lowest cost drug out there, because if you're buying it, hey, that's an issue. That's something you'd be thinking about. Booz Allen, BAH, they're going to relocate their global headquarters. Yum China provided a 3-year financial outlook at its Investors Day. Sinclair Broadcasting Systems, SBGI, they've got like an 8% stake in EW Scripps. This is one that they're gonna wind up taking them out. There's gonna be a buyout here. SBGI, Samboy, Grace India. They're going to be acquiring Scripps. Probably be announced in like 2 weeks. That's ticker SSP. Scripps is SSP. Sam Paul. Adriana Krugler, she apparently left the Fed. Remember, she left the Fed in August. The rumor is that she was not disclosing some of her equity trades. Let's see. Starboard takes a new stake in Bill Holdings, ticker BILL. They exited their Pfizer position, though, PFE. PZZA, Paul Zebra, Apple, investor, activist, is building a stake in Papa John's Pizza. Remember, they were takeover chatter for the longest time. AVDL, they got an unsolicited takeover proposal that they rejected because they're going to continue with their merger with ALKS. And that's all I'm seeing right now. Okay, let's talk about how we did yesterday and how we did on Friday's pick of the day, which was Walmart, WMT, William Michael Tom. I mean, first off, the stock opened up at $100.20, and it fell down to $98.88. Now, I initially said 101, but then I saw the news that the CEO is leaving. When that happens, you got to figure it's going to move down to like 1.5% to 2%, which is exactly what happened because it was trading $98 in the pre-market, but during the market day, it opened up $100.20, fell to $98.88, and then rallied back to 102.49, and closed at 102.48. So this one played out exactly like I thought. But Walmart, ticker WMT, was a winner on Friday. Was a winner. Guys, that's what I have for you. That concludes Monday's edition of NewsWare's Trade Talk podcast. Guys, you know what to do. Let's go out there and let's make some green.